Hey souls, what's up? It's Joe again here on this nice, beautiful Friday afternoon. I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I've been wanting to put on this channel. You're going to see different content again. Today I want to talk a little bit about finding your passion. This is something that I struggled with for many years, and I just finally want to talk about it. It's something that is a huge topic for me when I talk to people, especially when I'm dealing one-on-one with artists and musicians, or aspiring artists and musicians, or people who just want to do something in general. Basically, things started out with me out of high school. I went to college and took a few degrees and diplomas that, although they served a purpose at the time, it wasn't really my passion. I was kind of stuck in a place where I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. At the same time, I was always playing music and doing things with my music, but I just did not see that as something that I could pursue. I had something in my mind that blocked me from thinking I could make a living off of my music. I think some of it too is because I, at that time, was using music as a tool to it was just for me. It wasn't for other people. And so I think that by thinking that I was going to make a career out of that, it just wasn't in my cards. I didn't think. That's the worst thing you can do as well, because then you're shutting down opportunity and the universe will listen to you. Forward a little bit after high school and into college, I was really at that point just looking for something that would pay well, and I ended up taking a job at a financial institution, and although the first couple of years I enjoyed meeting people and learning the business side of things, I found myself slowly not being happy. And it got to a point where I was there a long time, and it got to a point where I just struggled even walking through the doors in the morning to work. It got very bad. And, and I think this is a normal thing that happens with a lot of people. If you're doing something that your body or your mind is telling you don't want to do, we keep forcing ourselves to do it. And I think, again, another attributor to stress. So make sure you're following your passions. So what do I mean by that? One thing that I say to people when they're talking to me and they're like, well, I want to do this or that, but I always say to them, what would you do for nothing? If money did not exist, if we didn't have money as a way of exchange here on planet Earth, what would you do for free? So, if you had somebody that cooked your food for you and baked your bread or whatever they're doing, and you had somebody else making clothes for you for free, for nothing, what are you going to offer that person? What talent do you bring? What have you been born with that you can offer that's different or that is purposeful and that you get a feeling of gratitude over? If you think of those things, and it's that simple really, you have to dive into one of those things. I've also known people to dive into their passions and be unsuccessful with those passions. Because there's two parts to it. You have to have the passion, and then you also have to have the drive to succeed. Passion is just in part of who you are. If you're passionate about painting, then you're going to paint and you're going to feel great about painting. If you're passionate about writing short stories, then after you write that short story and you read it back, you're going to get the feeling of, oh yeah, I love that. If you're passionate about fixing cars on your spare time, and you got buddies or friends that are coming over and you're fixing their car, that's a passion. But then you got to take that passion and you have to prove to the world that you can offer other people something from your passion. That's where a lot of people get lost. A lot of people have their passion and then they don't know how to bring it to other people, and they get lost with it, and then they get in this self-defeating loop, and the next thing you know, they're like, well, who was I kidding? I'm not gonna be successful doing that. The biggest thing to take away with this is to make sure you find your passion. First, figure out what those passions are. What would you do for nothing? What would you do for free for the world to better somebody else's life? And then once you know that, now you've got your passion. So you're never really going to hate what you're doing. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So now you've got something you enjoy doing. I mean, you can learn to hate your passion if the energy you're feeding and getting receiving is a negative one. But for the most part, you should enjoy the passion that you began with. But then you have to figure out, okay, what can I offer and how do I go about doing it? And you just work hard. You just do not stop until you fulfill what you're trying to do. I always remember back to a certain day, one of the last days that I worked at that financial institution where I was done. And I can remember, saying to myself, something's got to change. I had a moment in my car of thinking and praying, to be quite honest, about change. And that particular day was the day that I decided to walk out of my job and pursue something that made me happy. I'll get more into that later on. I'm not telling anybody here, advising anyone to walk out of your job. But make sure that you're happy in what you do. Or if you have a job that maybe you're not the happiest in, there are things that you can kind of grab onto that maybe speaks to your talents. So there might be other jobs within where you work where you can grab a hold of and it makes you feel a lot happier in what you're doing. Anyway, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about that. Please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I'm really excited to have a little soul circle of people. I kind of see you guys all as my little soul circle or big soul circle, whichever it ends up being. But I'm just happy and appreciative of all you who've been subscribing. Please, if you have an experience of your own like this, please let me know in the comments. I love to hear other people's stories and see how you kind of got to where you're at. But please, the biggest thing I would say right now is remember, you woke up this morning. Some people don't. You still have a job. You may not have a job, but you may be seeking a job, but you're still looking. You still have the ability to look for a job, or you still have the ability of looking for your passions. Always appreciate what's around you. Good things will happen. The more that you seek out things that will benefit other people and help other people, you will feel good inside. So it's a little corny, but it's the truth. So anyways, I'll see you guys all soon. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos. I'm going to be trying to get all kinds of content out. And again, these are just things I'm thinking about off and on. So, all right, I'll see you soon.
All at once, all the theories that you gave